What is going on, everybody, and welcome to this week's video. Today we are going to give one more update on our fertilizer tests here in the backyard, but as you saw in the opening, the rain has come after 7 weeks of 100-degree plus temperatures, sometimes up as high as 118. No rain, absolute drought conditions. The rain has come. Now this week, we got a little bit over 1.5 inches in the first 3 days. We have still been watering, but our grass is getting back to normal. All the areas we fertilized are really starting to take off. And we've made some changes to our irrigation system, which I'm going to walk you through here in just a second, and explain a little bit about the changes we made, the swap outs we made, what we did to our rotors to make sure we're getting enough water. Because during the normal season, April, May, June, we get enough water from just the regular heads. However, we realized in late July, early August, or I realized, that I wasn't getting enough water down on the days that really needed it the most, and we didn't have the volume in our system or through our rotors to be able to put enough water on. So I talked to my irrigator, I talked to my landscaper, and we went through and made a little bit of a plan to make some changes to be able to get more water down in the times we need it most, but still be able to scale back our watering during the non-peak heat season. That way we don't have to overwater and waste water and pay too much for water when we don't have to. So let's get started with a little walk around and I'll explain to you some of the changes we're going to make. Also, in my last video, I explained that right back here, there's a spot where we still had some dry fertilizer from when we fertilized. It looked like the sprinklers were not getting over there. They weren't getting far enough. Well, we did an irrigation audit and we ran all the zones manually, and what we realized is that our 24th zone actually didn't have power to it. So we jumped over power from zone 23, we touched the two connections, the zone popped up and started watering, and it's right in the dry area. So we don't have to worry anymore about that being dry. In fact, we're manually watering right now because there's a problem with the wire, but I'd rather manually water, turn the valve on, turn it off 25 minutes later, than have a poorly irrigated area. Also, in the last video, I showed you this area right here. We had a lot of burning going on. Guess what? That same zone runs from right here all the way out through the back of the lot. That's one line of 5 sprinklers that irrigates all of that. So not only did it cause the dry area, it caused the burn up over here. So there's a lot that we've done in the last week to make sure that as we finish out this growing season, and exciting news, we are putting down rye this winter. So we're going to do 1.25 acres of rye. We're doing the ditches, we're doing the front yard, we're doing the side yard, we're doing the backyard. We're doing everything in a dark green ryegrass. That's going to lead to some awesome stripes, a lot more mowing, a lot more wet scraping the mower, but it's going to give us a very unique opportunity to get some cool designs in the yard, and I'm just excited to get ryegrass down when it gets cool enough. Obviously, we're waiting for the 70s, 60s to start that process. It's still 80, 90, couple high 90 days, but now that we're able to get water down, that doesn't matter anymore, so we can start planning for the rye season. So let's take a look around the yard really quick and go from there. Okay, so this is the area where I told you, and you can see there's a lot of bare spots in here. Bare spots from where we didn't have irrigation, but as you can see, they're all dark brown now versus light brown last week, and that's because we've now got irrigation on them. So between the rain and the extra irrigation, all of our fertilizer is watered in. We've got a little bit of grass seed left here that should start growing now, so I'm really excited to see that start going. That said, as we walk over here, you can see the area where we had the Scott's starter fertilizer. It's really starting to fill in. You can see, especially right here, where the stolons are starting to run on the Bermuda grass. So it's really exciting to see these bare spots that have been here since we moved in February, January, start to fill in. And back here on the edge of the sodded area, where we did overseed a little bit with the Blackjack Bermuda as well, you can see it's really starting to fill in and get a real smooth, dense Bermuda. In the middle here, this is where we had the Anderson's slow release with Humic DG. Really great growth. I'm really excited. Once we got the watering situation fixed, I was so excited to see how this fertilizer took off. It did a great job, and it's actually tied for first place. If we're going to rank them honestly and two had the same results, we have to be very open about it. So my opinion is that the Andersons with Humic DG did just as good as our other first place winner. And speaking of our tie for first place, on this side where we had the best irrigation, this is going to be the NitroPhos. The NitroPhos slow release, which did a phenomenal job. Same thing, did just like the Anderson slow release, so it took 2.5 weeks to really green up and get going. But since it got greened up, it turned into absolutely one of the best growing areas of our lawn. I'm super excited with how this turned out, and I couldn't be more thrilled or excited to continue to use a blend of these products. In fact, I may start going 50-50, because if you look right here, this is where the two overlapped. And if you look at how great that grass looks, we've got absolutely phenomenal dense growth starting, a good deep green color starting to come through. So I am really excited with how the blend of the two fertilizers actually turned out, and that may be the key for the future. Now that said, I did have one area where I put a 3/4 dose of them down. I put 2 pounds of nitrophos and 3 pounds of Anderson's with humic DG on my side yard, and I'm going to show that to you right now, because that's absolutely one of the best growing areas on the yard. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, this thing is wedged in the bed of the truck, and the reason I did that is so that I could ask you, please, 85% of you watch our videos, but do not subscribe. If you could, please give me a chance, hit that subscribe button, follow the videos, be in for the long haul. I would really appreciate it if you just smash that subscribe button, hit the like button, leave a comment down below. It helps the channel grow, and we are on our way to be monetized. And once that happens, there are even more projects we can do and bring to you, like lawn leveling and Black Star gravel in the pool equipment area. But we need to grow. So help us out, smash that subscribe button, smash that like button. Let's get back to the video. All right, are y'all ready for this? Should have had sunglasses. Wow. Check out this sky. This is absolutely phenomenal. This is Southeast Texas weather at its finest. Storm's starting to build. We'll probably get a little bit of rain today, but check out this weather. Check out these clouds. It just looks awesome. This is the area I really wanted to show you. This is the grass where I have full servings, full doses, full applications of both the nitrophos and the Anderson's humic DG downer, with humic DG, both slow release fertilizers. But this grass absolutely took off as soon as I fertilized, and I really want to show it to you, because I think that may be something I'll explore a little more in the future, using both on top of each other and layering them. Take a look at this. Now, obviously, we've got some weeds to take care of. We're definitely not going to spray them with definitely not MSMA, because that's a banned substance, except for on cotton fields, golf courses, roadside ditches, and sod farms. So we're definitely not going to spray it with MSMA to get rid of all the weeds in Bermuda. But we will spray it with something, definitely not MSMA, like I said. And we'll show that to you here in a few weeks. And next, I want to show you a couple of the spots. So if you see in the front yard here, we've got some severely burned areas. This area is all burned up. This one over here, where I put my water gauge, it's coming back. It was very, very burned up. After we went on vacation in late July, early August, we got home, and we just could not get this growing. We couldn't get enough water down on it to really make it grow. And I was a little upset, because I had sprinkler coverage here. This was all planned for when we laid out our sprinkler system in the yard. However, what wasn't planned for is that even though there's overlap, the sprinklers, the rotors, did not allow enough water onto the area on this big of an area to really get the ground wet enough to grow. So what do? I got with my landscaper, and I actually had him bring out the sizing kit for the rotors, because a lot of people don't know this. When you put rotors in, they have different sized or different gauged inserts that allow different amounts of water through. So what we did is we changed them all out from the red limited, the blue high flow volume limiters. So what we did is we took all of the sprinkler heads that go around the flower bed from the garden, all around the front of the house. We took this row of sprinklers here, and we took the row of sprinklers in the mid front yard. We took the two middle sets and set them on full 360 and put in the blue high flow limiters. And on the front, we left the zones, we left the limits the way they were, left and right. That way they didn't overspray the house, but we did put in the blue high flow inserts. Also, we did that on the side of the house here, where we have another burn spot. We basically just did an audit, and I recommend you do this once a year, or if you start seeing brown spots or dead spots where you can't get enough water, is do an audit of your irrigation system. Now, if this was just one spot in August, maybe July and August, I'd bring out my own garden hose with a sprinkler, with a rotational sprinkler or a built-up sprinkler, and I'd put extra water down here. But because I had so many areas throughout the yard where I have irrigation, I've already paid for the irrigation system, why not just change out the limiters to make sure you can get enough water from what you've already paid for? So that's what we did. So over the next few weeks, as this continues to come back, I will show you as we're mowing how this really starts to green up. I've also got a couple products in the mail that we're going to be reviewing, some rapid grow products that we're going to put on just the areas where we've been having issues so we can compare them to other areas of the lawn and see how that goes. So we've got a whole bunch of projects and new videos lined up, but as always, thank you for watching this video. I will see you Sunday. We're going to start doing videos every Thursday and Sunday. I appreciate your time. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.